10 long years since the Denver Broncos have been AFC West champions. But man, get the t-shirts ready, get the hats ready, get ready to head into the playoffs, possibly as the number 1 seed. We'll talk about how the Denver Broncos got there with that Christmas Day game. We'll talk about the help we got today. We'll talk about the future and what might be the possibility as we head into the playoffs. All that. Oh, how about right about now? AFC West champions. That's our Denver Broncos. How about them Broncos, man? Ernie Mays, if you're out there, my friend, sound off, man. Take a bow. He's the one who came in here believing in these Broncos more than any other fan, podcaster, posse member that I know, man. But the AFC West champions are the Denver Broncos. My name is Keith Brugman. This is the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. We're brought to you by Rocky Mountain Sports Network. We have an amazing sponsor named Morgan Trinkets. We'll talk about them a little bit later in the show. And I got my good friend, the Rocket Man, Trevor Salzman, who I get to finally wish kind of face-to-face. Is this face-to-face in this day and age? I think this is face-to-face. Yeah. Trevor, Merry Christmas, my friend. Merry Christmas to you. And we got Christmas presents galore as well from the Denver Broncos as well.
Yeah, exactly, Keith. I mean, what better Christmas present that Broncos country can actually, have than the Broncos winning the AFC West for the first time since 2015. So, I mean, 2015. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just crazy that we're here and just the ride that the Broncos have been on the past couple of years. So great to see, the Broncos take care of business the other night against the Chiefs and solidify this. And great to see the Texans take care of business today and beat the Chargers as well. That really helped the Broncos in a big way. But no, excited to get into it, Keith. Merry Christmas to you as well. And Merry late Christmas to all the posse members as well. Excited to be here and be back on the train.
Yeah, be back on the bow train, Got Miss Pearl. Speaking of Morgan Trinkets, my goodness, Pearl is here saying hello to everybody. Good to see you, Pearl. Good to have you here during the holidays. I mean, honestly, I don't think it'd be the holidays without you and Morgan Trinkets and just Pearl in general kind of gracing our presence. Pearl feels like, I bet it's the best Christmas at Pearl's house. I'm just saying. So I was rooting for Houston, says Miss Pearl. I think most of Broncos country were obviously rooting for Houston. Take out the Chargers. Let us win the AFC West. But I tell you what, those Houston Texans, man, they could be something to be dealt with in the playoffs. We might talk about them a little bit later. Who do we have in here? Poison Lady, better known as Karen, AFC West champions. I knew it would happen. Fantastic, man. I started talking last year about how this team just felt destined for something more. And boy, are they paying off this year by showing just what they are capable of. And just we'll talk about this game, Trevor, but I love this game. I know it wasn't Patrick Mahomes. I know the Chiefs didn't have anything to play for, but it's still Andy Reid. It's still Steve Spagnuolo. It's still Travis Kelce playing in possibly his last home game. There was still a lot going on out there. So got to say hello real quick. I just want to say hello to Patrick before I miss out on some of our posse members coming in. Aloha, AFC West champs. Again, as in it's been a long time, not in again like we will be talking about next year around this time as well. First coach's goal were complete. AFC West champs. That's Mr. Martin coming in on YouTube. Thank you for everybody who comes on Facebook, YouTube. We have multiple different ways that we can reach you, and we see you all out there. We love you. Love you coming in here and talking some Broncos football, man. But I'll hit the comments a little bit more. Trevor, this game was a great game in my opinion. What did you think about the game as the Broncos went out there? They handled business. They sweep the Chiefs, and they get a 20-13 win on the road.
Yeah, I mean, again, it wasn't the cleanest game possible, but I mean, you take a win however you can take it. I kind of feels like the Broncos played down to the Chiefs a little bit in this game, in my opinion. I mean, I know it was a competitive game back and forth, but it really probably, honestly, Keith and posse members, it probably shouldn't have been this close as it was. I was kind of upset after watching the game. I'm like, my gosh, that you're playing against most of this team's backups. I mean, the Chiefs were missing Trent McDuffie. I mean, I know that Travis Kelce was playing, get that, but Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I thought this Broncos defense kind of fell flat a little bit, in my opinion, at times. I know I'm going to get to the positive part here in a minute, I promise. But I thought they should have got after, the Chiefs starting quarterback, Chris Oladukan.
Oladuka.
Oladuka. Either way,
Oladukan.
I thought that's what I was saying. But I mean, he's.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to correct you. Then
No, you're good. No, I'd rather be corrected and say it right than not say it at all. But no, I mean, I thought the Broncos defense just didn't get enough pressure on him. I mean, he was making his first start, of his career, and I mean, he's been in the league for a while. And I know it's Andy Reid. You would like to see more, like the defense come out and dominate a little bit more. But again, I'll get away from the negative side a little bit here as well. The Broncos still got to win. They figured out, a win and a win on the road against the Chiefs, regardless of who's playing. Wasn't stellar by any means on either side of the ball. It wasn't flashy. But Keith, I think here's the thing. We're starting to kind of get this a little bit more. Was the Broncos? Not every game needs to be flashy. But what needs to happen is you need to come out of that game victorious and getting that victory. And I think this is what the Denver Broncos did against the Chiefs on Christmas. Things to work on for sure going forward. And you'd like to see those things continue to ramp up a little bit as you get closer to the playoffs. But again, you got to win on the road on Christmas Day. And it was against the Chiefs. So it makes it all the better. Excited and glad to see the Broncos take care of business however they could.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I love the way that Sean Payton came out after the game and kind of described it. He said right out the bat, he's like, we realized fairly quickly the type of game that the Chiefs wanted to play. They wanted to slow play this game. They wanted to make this a long possession type of game. They weren't looking to go quick, big scores. Heck, they were without some of their biggest weapons. Rashee Rice was put on IR. Traquan Thornton was put on IR. So it's not like you can really start throwing it around when you don't have Patrick Mahomes or even Gardner Minshew for that matter. So they were going to slow play this all the way down, try to make it a close score game. And the Denver Broncos went out there and, in my opinion, played that game better. You look at time of possession, 39-28 versus 20-32. I mean, that speaks volumes right there. Third down conversion, 11 of 18 for the Denver Broncos. Only 4 third down conversions for the Kansas City Chiefs. Only 1 fourth down conversion for the Kansas City Chiefs. So on third and fourth down combined, they only had 5 conversions throughout the entire game. I think the Denver Broncos went out there and I think they played pretty well and they played the game pretty well. yeah, maybe they could have dominated, and I was hoping they would dominate maybe in one fashion or another, more defensively or offensively. They could have probably could have done a little bit better both. But I think when it came down to the type of game that they needed to play, and more importantly, to me, Trevor, is that you need to be able to play different types of styles of games. We've seen the New York Giants football game where they had to put up 28 points in the fourth quarter, and we can play that type of game. But sometimes you just need to go out there and you need to grind it out. You need to have long possessions. You need to take care of the football as best as you possibly can and get out points on just about every possession you can. And that was this type of game. And they got it done. I like the way they were able to go out there and get this done.
Yeah. I mean, go out there and get this done. And I guess just for me, I mean, and I know there's some comments in there that said they're saving for the playoffs. I mean, that can kind of be a dangerous game, and we kind of found that out though in this game on Christmas Day, because I mean the Chiefs had a chance to tie the game or possibly win the game. I mean, later on in the game, I mean they were driving their last drive, and there was a overthrown ball that if that's on the money, I mean this might be a different game. So I mean I understand that victory is a victory, but just as the Denver Broncos are right now. I mean, this is 2 games. I mean, Jacksonville, we've seen how that game kind of planned out. We see how Jacksonville is, but those are 2 games in a row where it's like, could you want a little bit more there? I understand we're getting close to the playoffs, but it's like that's just the kind of raising the concern level a little bit for me. I don't want to, speak too much on everybody else, and I don't want to be like overly concerned, Keith, because again, you got to bounce back victory after the Jags game, but yeah, I mean, just you want to see that Chargers game. You want to see this team kind of come out a little more fire, a little more oomph to them, and not play down to the component or their opponent, I should say, and just play their own style of football. I know that the Broncos aren't necessarily made to blow teams out of the water, but you just want to see them more, than what they put on the field against a lot of backups out there on both sides of the ball. So, but again, celebrate this victory because it's Christmas Day plus, and I mean, it's a win's a win. So, I mean, I understand both points, but there's definitely, you can be sad. I think you can be satisfied with the victory, but also be like, there's some things to work on going forward. So it's kind of a happy medium, I think.
100%. You can never be satisfied. I don't think there is such thing as a perfect game. And I don't think any coach will allow you to think that you went out there and played a perfect game. There's tape on Monday, every single week. And there's a reason for that. Our good friend, I put, by the way, Jody the Judge Moncrief. I put a couple of his comments up on this screen a little bit earlier as we were kind of talking about what he was talking about as well. I'd like to say hello to the Judge, one of our podcasters out there and on a lot of our shows throughout the week. We'll talk about that a little later. Also had this huge lengthy one from Kenny Kirkpatrick. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it up on the screen and talk it out. He says, Merry Christmas, Keith, Trevor, Jody, and the posse. Let's ask a question. Who do you want to see step up next week leading into the playoffs? I'm going with Riley Moss. I'm seeing missed tackles and losing coverage for a couple of weeks now. So he's looking for, when he says step up, at first I was like, oh, who do I want to see really do well? He's like, maybe who do we need to see step it up to the level that the rest of the team is playing at, maybe, because Riley Moss has been playing a little bit subpar, I would say, Trevor, compared to what we've seen the last few, or for the most of the year, especially when it comes to the tackling portion of it. So we got Riley Moss on the table. Do you have a new name, different name, same name? Who do you got? Who needs to step up when it comes to this next game and kind of leading into the playoffs?
This is a guy that has stepped up all season long, but it seems like the last couple games he's just kind of been quiet. And I'm going to say Nick Bonito. I mean, he's a guy that I think that he has to be on as you go into the postseason, because he's your number one pass rusher. I mean, this is a guy that you're paying number one pass rusher kind of money to. He's the one that's he's a big difference maker. Jonathan Cooper is too, but Nick Bonito, I mean, when he's on, I mean, I think that there's an extra step up with him. So I'm gonna say Nick Bonito. I want to see a good Nick Bonito game, multiple sacks. I mean, just getting in the face of quarterbacks and just making quarterbacks feel uncomfortable. So I'm going to stick to the defense side of the ball, and I'm going to say Nick Bonito. You're going to have that number one edge rusher come into play during the playoffs. We've seen that with Von Miller years ago, how special that can be. And when you have a dominant pass rusher like that, just how much it can take you and how far it can take you into the playoffs.
Okay, then I'll have to pick somebody out on the offensive side of this one for you, for the posse, for Kenny. I didn't like what I saw from Courtland Sutton in this last game, man. Courtland Sutton had multiple opportunities, and you talk about how big it is to have that pass rusher, and I 100% agree. That pass rusher heading into the playoffs, that guy that can go out there, be a disruptor, just harass the quarterback and make it tough and maybe get some turnover possibilities. I'm 100% on board with you, Trevor. I also need a number one receiver. And if I'm going to try to find one on this team, it's got to be Courtland Sutton. I want to see Courtland Sutton kind of have a rebound game versus the Chargers, and he needs to carry that forward in the playoffs if we're going to be successful. I love Troy Franklin. I like that Marvin Mims even got more involved in this game. RJ Harvey is proving he can be just as big of a threat through the passing game as he is through the running game. But Courtland Sutton needs to be that guy. Also, hats off to Evan Ingram. He didn't look too bad out there on this last game either. But let's get Courtland Sutton on schedule, in the correct timing with Bo Nix, because it seemed like they were just this far off. But there was this far off that cost them some big, big plays in this game as well. Get Courtland Sutton on board. That's my vote, Kenny. Great question, my friend.
Absolutely. I mean, and if I
Joe,
had to,
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, so sorry, Keith. I was going to say, if I had to say somebody too, I mean, I would say it's got to be Bo Nix a little bit too. I mean, I mean, this just goes right along with Bo's been pretty good most of the season, but I mean, you really need Bo Nix to. I want Bo Nix from last year, especially towards the end of last year. I mean, the end of last year, I should say, not the beginning of the season, but at the end of last season, going into the playoffs, that's the Bo Nix I want. Still feel like we could see more from Bo. I mean, I love Bo and voice supported Bo, but this is the time where capable franchise quarterbacks step up and show why they're franchise quarterbacks. And so, just like the edge rusher with Nick Bonito and it's how huge and important it is, it's also important for Bo Nix to go out there and show what he can do as well and be just full blown Bo. You need everybody to step up, but you need your quarterback to show up and show out. And so I want to see that from Bo going into this last game against the Chargers. We'll see what, we're still a ways away from that game. We'll see how that kind of all that transpires, how much Bo plays and all that stuff. But definitely going into the playoffs, Bo's got to be sharper. He's got to be better. He's got to be an extra step more so this Broncos team can advance into the playoffs.
Yeah. I have a feeling, obviously, they'll be preparing Bo to go out there and play because, the opportunity is probably pretty low that you don't want to go out there and win this game. I'll just put it that way. The upsets are pretty big. I'm not going to pick on Bo too much. I understand where you're coming from. I guess I felt he did pretty dang good in this game. I like the way that he used his legs in this game. I think he was pretty smart with the ball in comparison to the week before. And I'm going to want to talk to just what Karen's saying here, saying the Chiefs' focus was on Courtland Sutton, number one receiver, take him away. And I agree with that. I do believe they were trying to take Courtland Sutton away to a certain extent. I don't see I don't have his targets written down. I have a ton of stats over here, Karen. But he was 4 for 40, and I know that there was 2 drops at least in there. So yeah, maybe he wasn't getting the opportunities and the numbers because of the coverage he was getting, and maybe that was part of the reason the timing was off, is just because the targets weren't numerous towards Courtland Sutton. Again, I think that Trevor might be ready to inform me on the targets. How many targets did he have?
He led the team in targets with 10, so he was targeted plenty of times, Keith. I'm in agreement with you on this one. There was too many drops. I feel like, especially with Trent McDuffie out, that's the Chiefs' number one corner. I mean, there should have definitely been. I mean, Sutton's got to be better, and he knows that. I mean, we don't have to sit here and harp on Cortland Sutton and all these guys. They know what they need to do, and they need to be better. But I agree with you. He was targeted quite a bit. He's still Bo Nix's safety blanket, in my opinion. That hasn't changed for me at all. I know Troy Franklin's starting to come into the page a little bit. We're seeing a little bit more Evan Ingram and whatnot, but Cortland Sutton for me still is Bo Nix's safety blanket in this offense.
Yeah. And Karen, I'll talk to this, man. Like I said, we are AFC West champs and fully deserving of it. This team, the turnaround that we've had, the first time in 10 years, I am ecstatic and I'm over the moon about this team. I'm the one on here saying I love the way the Denver Broncos played this game, because she's coming in here and says, what we are doing is great football. Please stop with all the other. Hey, I'm just looking for getting what the coaches want, the perfection out of this team, because this team is built. This team is built to go all the way. They're built to get the number 1 seed. They're by beating the Chargers next week. They're built to run through the playoffs, having home field advantage. They're built to take home a Super Bowl championship. But all things need to be working, kind of perfectly for that to happen. It doesn't go, you don't march your way through by having a ton of mistakes and not playing your best football. It just doesn't work that way. So I'm just looking at ways that we can find the best out of this team. And yeah, there's going to be players that, will look at themselves in the mirror. Nick Benito did it a couple of weeks ago and then end up coming out right in the press conference or to the media and telling everybody how he thought he played, which was not good. To keep it a little bit more, kid friendly on this episode. He was not happy with the way he played. Mm-hmm. He's a guy that probably wants to step it up a little bit more. He didn't get a sack in this last game. We only had 1 sack in this last game. I'm sure that defense would love to get after the quarterback more, and we know that they can. Mm-hmm. So it's not about, beating down this team that is doing a phenomenal job, has had one of the biggest turnarounds, and has one of the best and brightest pictures in front of them towards, being the AFC team that represents in the Super Bowl. I truly believe that's a real possibility. Mm-hmm. So don't get us wrong, I think, when we're out there and we're looking for the best. So, Trevor, anything you want to add to that, my friend?
Yeah, I just want to add to that. I mean, it's great to point out the positives, and of course, we're going to do both. I mean, that's something we've done on the show for a long time, is put out the positives and negatives and find that happy medium. And like, hey, we want this from this team. I mean, their record's 13-3, but here's the thing: this team still hasn't won a playoff game in how many years? I mean, there's still more. You got to want more. I mean, and it's nothing wrong with wanting more from your team. You can be I think you can be satisfied and you can be happy with where this team's at. Of course, 13-3 is nothing to shy away from. It's very hard to win games in the NFL, no matter if it's regular season, playoffs, regardless. But you can always want more, and that's, for me, that's the next step, is this team winning football games in the playoffs. Because the playoffs are a different atmosphere. That's different how things are played than the regular season. And so we're getting towards the end of the season and whatnot. Hopefully the Broncos can clinch the number 1 seed in the AFC. I mean, this is just check off another check mark of them winning the AFC West. But it's, again, there's more check marks that need to be checked off, and winning that playoff game and continue to win in the playoffs has got to be here right around the corner, and it got to be soon. I mean, and that's I think Keith, just like how you were saying it, it's amazing how this team has turned things around, and they certainly exceeded my expectations this season. I didn't have them winning 13 games. I'll admit that, but again, there's more. You want more, and there's nothing, I don't think, wrong with pointing out some of the negatives and also wanting more from your football team, because at the end of the day, you want to win Super Bowls, and how you're going to do that, you want to strive and get there and have goals in mind so you can reach those goals.
I will say this, Karen. I love what Sean Payton preaches to his own coaches. Don't tell me what they can't do. Tell me what they can do. We could be a little bit better about that, because I think there's some opportunities for us to say, hey, this guy's doing this bad. This guy is doing this bad. this is the place that I think he could do better, that he does the best, and we can use him more and get more out of them. And I think that a lot of times that's what we're looking. Evan Ingram going out there, and I'll be honest, just 4 for 21. I know it's not huge on the stat board, but it's quite honestly, it's tied for second for number of receptions out there. Evan Ingram being involved to that level to me is very important, and I love that he's there. I got to hit some more comments, some more posse members. I want to hit Glenn Ashley here, and he has one of those big old half page. I don't know if we'll see our chins type of comment on here if you're watching live on Facebook or YouTube. But I'll pop it up here because Glenn's always got good stuff to say. He says, "Good afternoon, Keith, Trevor, and Posse. Again, on short rest, we were poor, expected, and Spags schemed well. We have been really good with our schemes off longer breaks. We go out and play to our strengths and win. Bryant will be back to help the offense." Boy, again, maybe I saw a little bit different game. I didn't see a poor game, Glenn, but I just saw a game that was managed to time and perfection to make sure that you kept the ball out of the hands of the Chiefs and you really just grounded out and took the time off the clock as the Denver Broncos. Again, almost 40 minutes to 20 minutes. When you can steal that much time in a game, because we didn't win the turnovers, we didn't win the penalties. There were things that we didn't win in this game that didn't go our direction. We talked about a couple of drops by Courtland Sutton, but beyond that, you look at, Bo Nix. Bo Nix goes out there 26 for 38. That's pretty good completion percentage in a game like this, especially when they know what's coming. And I know they were down a couple players, but I'm not going to give you that. I think this game was kind of played to perfection. I think it was the type of game you need to be able to play sometimes, even in the playoffs. But Glenn, I appreciate you, man. I think that some little bit of extra time now to maybe game plan towards the Chargers. Maybe we'll see a different team. We never know. You never know, Glenn, but I appreciate you coming in here and talking about it. Anything more to add on Glenn's super big comment that we have there?
I mean, I think I agree with Glenn in the fact that obviously the Broncos didn't play up to their standard, I think, against the Chiefs. But, I mean, again, like I repeated it multiple times now, a win is a win however you can get in. Sometimes, especially this late in the season, players are banged up and different injuries are going on. And so it's like, we also have to take that in consideration. Like that might be part of these why these performances are exactly where they need to be. Again, it's not excuses because these guys get paid millions of dollars, but I'm just kind of trying to reason with the players a little bit. And again, the Broncos are going to have to learn. They're going to have to learn that they have to play their style of football, not just down to teams. And I'm not saying the Chiefs are down by any means, but I mean, no Patrick Mahomes, like no Trent McDuffie. I mean, they still have Chris Jones, Travis Kelce. I understand that, but you want to see a little more domination, but I mean, I'm nitpicking, of course. So going forward, they know that this team knows that they've got to be better, and I don't think that they've came out of this victory like, oh, we're satisfied. You never heard one player, one coach, say that from the Denver Broncos after this game against the Chiefs, and I don't think you're going to. This is a team that I think that's still very hungry, and they're still ready to prove to the world exactly what kind of team they are. And I think we're going to see that going forward, and as we get into the playoffs.
You ungrateful little. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I just don't want to come off as being too ungrateful. Hey, Pearl's coming in here too. The refs wanted for KC to win. I'll be honest. The penalties were terrible in this game. And by the way, there was only a couple for the Chiefs for 10 yards, but a big one on a fourth down that basically ended up cementing the game. I'm going to get to Pearl here and again just in a moment because it's almost at our mid mark here. I'm going to get to Karen one more time for one of those super big comments. I like these super big comments tonight. The Chiefs' game plan was to keep it from going over the top. So long, slow drives. But we going over the top. So long, slow drives, but we scored the necessary points in another game plan of success for Sean Payton and the Broncos. 100% agree, Karen. I think this was, again, Sean Payton came out and said it. They recognized it pretty quickly that this was kind of a keep away type of game. Let's see if we can hold the ball as long as we can and still put points on the board. It wasn't the Chiefs trying to put up 51 points on the Denver Broncos. That wasn't the game plan. The Broncos had to basically play the same way and see if they could outduel the Chiefs in that game. And ultimately they did. I got to get to our sponsorship, and then got to get to more comments. We still got to start talking about the playoffs and where the Denver Broncos are headed and all the scenarios that are around the corner. First comment that one of the first comments that came in, and I wanted to mention it, but I didn't mention it, so now I feel bad. But it doesn't matter. For all you Posse members, I still want you all to hear this. I want to talk about Adam and Kayla here, coming in here and saying, "Go Broncos," and "Hey family." I posted it up on our Denver Bronco Roundup podcast page, and I need your help if you're able to, Broncos country. 2 days before Christmas, I believe it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, Adam and Kayla. They lost their entire home and a couple pets, family members, in a fire. Devastating this time of year, and these are some of the best people I know out there. Adam and Kayla, my thoughts, my prayers have been with you since the morning I opened up at Facebook and saw the post. And I think a lot of Broncos country and Posse members have been right there along with me. But they are so close to their GoFundMe goal. And I'd love to just see it be blown away. Great people, fantastic people. Also, they love the Broncos. So how about that? A bonus, a kicker. If you can, head on over to the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast or Denver Bronco Roundup Facebook page. You'll see the link there. Go over to Adam and Kayla's page. You'll see it there. If you can help out, we certainly appreciate it. To my true sponsor, Reed, head on over to Morgan Trinkets. Morgan Trinkets has been your headquarters for Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold. I'm calling it now for 35 long years. They were once a nationwide company. Now they hang out in your backyard if you're in northern Colorado, southern Wyoming. They hit all the major shows, whether it be fairgrounds or gem shows or dog shows or a horse show going on. Check it out. Turn around the corner. You might see Morgan Trinkets there. If you can't find them there, head on over to Etsy. Type in Morgan Trinkets Co. That's Morgan Trinkets CO. And there you are. You can see everything that Pearl has to offer. Pearl is her name. She's the owner. Type in Pearl Heat over on eBay, and you can see what she has to offer over on eBay as well. All terms and conditions apply over there. Over on Etsy, you can go out there and all major credit cards are accepted, and all orders over $50 are shipped absolutely free. So please take a look at Morgan Trinkets, our amazing sponsor. And yeah, if you have the means or the ability, also please check out Adam and Kayla Kopel or the Denver Bronco Roundup page and help them out if you're able or capable. We would certainly appreciate it. I'll take it over any stars that you're able to give this evening. If you can do that instead, believe me, it'd mean so much more to me right now. Phil McLaughlin. Whoo. I'm just going to get to the super big comments. If y'all like print up like 7.5 paragraphs, cover up our pages, maybe that's the ones we go with. I'm going to go with Phil McLaughlin here because he's always got something good to say. Phil, good to see you this evening. He says, "Good evening, Keith and the Rocket Man. Time of possession says we should have won this by 20, though. Bo has to learn to put touch on the ball. At times, he's still getting a little bit happy feet. It's been so long since we got the West, but I still want to see us handle the Chargers. That will make me feel better going into the playoffs." Looking for that warm and fuzzy, taking down the Chargers. last game of the year. Hopefully, it looks like it's going to be a meaningful game. Go out there, handle business, and that would mean a lot to Phil. Doesn't necessarily, kind of like we were talking about a little bit earlier, Trevor. I guess we're not the only ones who are slinging a little mud towards the Broncos, who have won 13 games and are now on the AFC West as well. So Phil's still wanting to see a little bit as well. Orlando coming in, saying Big West Championship, man. Love it, my friend. And Paul's coming in here with the Mile High salute. I don't know if it's to that or to us or to all you posse members in here in the comments, but we sure do appreciate Paul coming in here as well. And Orlando, new name. Just gotta give you a shout out there, man. Big West Championship, man. 10 years, man. 2015, last time we took home this championship. I still remember, because it's like times when it's like, man, I wanted more than the AFC West Championship. And getting the AFC West Championship t-shirt or hat kind of felt like it was a little bit flat if they didn't go and get the Super Bowl as well. But man, telling you what, now it feels amazing sitting on top after all these years, all the struggles, and everybody out there doubting the entire year, and even doubting us being contention for this come the end of the year in some people's minds. So yeah, enjoy that championship, man. We should enjoy it, but expect a little bit more, like Phil was saying, I guess. Trevor, number 1 seed could be in our grasp, man. In our grasp, man. There's one easy way to get it. Just beat the Chargers, right?
Just beat the Chargers.
Just beat the Chargers, man. Talk about this AFC playoff picture. Now that the AFC West Championship is now in our grasp, and again, there are some possibilities, and more than likely a big possibility that we can go out there and win this AFC West Championship. We've got about a 59% chance of winning it as of right now. Just got to handle business versus the Chargers, or a slew of other things that probably are unlikely to happen have happened, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and first and foremost, Keith, I want to extend my condolences out to Adam and Kayla as well. My heart and prayers are with you guys as well. And I'm so very sorry that all that happened. And just know we're all here for you guys and are here to support you guys through thick and thin. So please, if there's anything we can do, please reach out. We love you guys and care about you guys, and we love having you part of the show. So first, I want to say that, extend my condolences out to Adam and Kayla as well. Then I want to thank Phil as well. If he's ended up sending stars, Keith, I'm not sure if he did, but I want to huge shout out to Phil as well, who is one of our usual star givers. But for me, Keith, I think it's again a slew of things. I mean, it starts with obviously the Patriots, needing to lose, Buffalo needing to lose. I mean, Jaguars, the Texans. I mean, them winning today helps the Broncos in a way, yes, but you still have I guess Denver has the tiebreaker over them, I guess, but you still. My point is, you have a slew of games that need to go in your direction, and maybe, again, one of the greatest things for the Broncos is they don't play again until next Sunday, so a lot of things can change by the time next Sunday comes around. So I think that's what the Broncos have on their side a little bit is, hey, it was a Christmas game, it was an early game in the during the week, but hey, you got an extended amount of time for time off that now you can rest your players for a little bit, and then 2, kind of see how things transpire leading up to next Sunday against the Chargers. We think it's going to be a meaningful game. It's starting to lean towards that, of course, but you never know how last game of the season things kind of get a little bit weary work when it comes to setting players and whatnot. And if the Broncos jump up to a big league, they might sit a couple guys, sit a couple starters. So we'll see how that transpires. But that's one of the beauty things of playing on Christmas Day is you get more time off, and you get to kind of sit back and watch other teams and let things kind of transpire before you have to make any decisions.
Yeah, I did drop the link. A lot of people are talking about Adam and Kayla. You do get to sit back a little bit, but I'll tell you what, I was just looking at these games, man, and this is, I guess you could look at these. How many of these are going to be early? Possibly all of them. Patriots versus Jets. Now, obviously, we'd love the Jets to win this game and give us an opportunity in case we, didn't win against the Chargers. That would be the first one that we would need to see fall in our favor. I don't feel very good about the Jets pulling out the win versus the Patriots in the way that they've played this year. Colts at the Jaguars. And I think I got that backwards. Jaguars at the Colts. But we'd like the Colts to win this game. As much as I'm a kind of a recent Phillip Rivers fan, I don't know why, pulling for an old guy that maybe is closer to my age than most other quarterbacks in the league. Colts have had a tough time trying to get a win with Phillip Rivers, and the Jaguars are one of the hottest teams in the AFC as we speak right now. Last one, Eagles versus Bills. I guess I'm just getting at, Trevor, as none of these games look really good and going in the favor for the Broncos to, find a sliver of hope in case they don't win against the Chargers. This Chargers game is going to be everything. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we see all the upsets, but at the same time, I think it's asking for a lot. And that being said, I think that everything is going to be on that Chargers game. I like what Phil's saying. If we go out there and we handle business versus the Chargers and we do it meaningfully and really handle business in that game, oh boy, that would mean a lot. Because, yeah, the Chargers might not be able to move too much. They're pretty much locked into that 7 seed. No one's going nowhere. But I got to say, they would love to make it a tough route for us and an easier route for them in case they meet up with us in the future. I guarantee you that one. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot in this game, and it's what the NFL wants, man. This is what the NFL wants.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think the best way to handle things would be just to handle things yourself and not rely upon other teams. I'd be interested to see how much things change because it feels like it was just yesterday, Keith, that we were talking about the Colts making the playoffs. And my gosh, this team was scary. They just got Sauce Gardner. I mean, made a plethora of moves, and then you see where they're at now. I mean, so it's like things can change quickly in the NFL. That's just the name of the game. I think, but for the Broncos, I mean, I think, yeah, you got to handle things yourself. I mean, that would be the best way to do it. And it kind of reminds me of 2015, Keith, if you remember right, when the Broncos also had to play the Chargers to lock up the number 1 seed. That was the game Brock Osweiler started, and then Peyton Manning came in and relieved him. So it kind of brings back memories when we talk about Broncos Chargers, meaningful game, number 1 seed on the line to 2015 when the Broncos played the Chargers during the Peyton Manning era.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, man. Any given Sunday, I'm seeing that as well. Any given day, Pearl saying. But you're right. Any given Sunday, but any given day anymore. I'm not nervous. I'm not in the position where I don't think the Denver Broncos can win this game versus the Chargers. I don't have any hesitation here. I'm just saying it's also all on the line. This is what you play for. This is why you've went out there every game until week 17 or 18 or whatever week it is. I can't even keep track of the weeks versus the schedules. Just make it even again and make it simple for me. Anyway, as you head into the final week, the Chargers versus Broncos. This is going to be a huge, huge matchup. Right now, if things go the way that the odds makers are expecting, I just want to talk about these matchups just really quick and talk about the playoff scenarios. If the Denver Broncos get the 1 seed, they get the bye. Trevor, that would mean Chargers versus Patriots Texans versus Jaguars, Bills versus Steelers. Those are some fantastic matchups in my opinion, just as they're playing out in the odds for what possibly could be the playoff picture. Chargers versus Patriots, Texans versus Jaguars, Bills versus Steelers. Is there a game that stands out there for you, or I guess there's still a lot that could be still moved around. Not a ton, but there could be some movement in that. But that's where it's looking as of right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think you always got to watch that Chargers and Patriots game. Kind of see how things pan out in that game. I think it can go actually either way. But if you're the Broncos, you're always looking at your next opponent. And so it'll be interesting to see kind of what these teams how they kind of try to wear themselves out. I mean, this is the beauty of having the number one seed. Also, you have playoff. You have home seed. You have home field advantage. So that's also one of the big advantages to be the number one seed. So if you're the Denver Broncos, got to lock up number one seed. I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking a little bit far down the road. I know I'm getting a little bit excited, but it feels like it's in our grasp, man. I guess I didn't even think about this, man. I don't know how many. Well, we'll talk about this, man, but in the future, we'll have to figure out all our podcasts. We've been all over the board, and it feels like my schedule's like most people, usually during this time of year, right? It's like, what day is it? Where am I at? It was just Christmas. Is it New Year's now? There is. I'll have to figure out our schedule and how many pregame looks we have at this. But I always like your perspective as of the game coming up. What? I guess give me some highlights of what you're looking at as you head in towards this game versus the Chargers, final week of the regular season. Uh, what are you looking at? Just a quick glimpse right now, Trevor.
I think for me, Keith, it's just got to get out to a fast start. I mean, you can't waste time, because here's the thing. Yeah, you're gonna have, if you get the number one seed, you will have a bye. We can get it rest and whatnot, but you'd like to get out of this Chargers game victorious and victorious early, but also try to finish the game up as quick as you possibly can, so you start resting your starters. I know Sean Payton's not huge on resting guys, and I don't expect that to happen. But for me, I think it's getting out to a fast start, getting out to quicker starts, being more efficient early on, because that's something you're going to have to do in the playoffs. So you can't play from behind in the playoffs. I mean, that can only work for so long. So, I really think the Broncos, I mean, for me, it's got to get off to a fast start. We'll see what the Chargers end up doing. Again, the game's a while away. I mean, we're over a week away from the game actually happening. So we'll see how things kind of transpire leading up to the game. But, so as we know so far, both teams are playing starters. So we'll put that scenario into place for now. You got to stop Justin Herbert. I mean, he's been a Bronco killer in the past. Seems like he knows how to play against Vance Joseph's defense, and knows, how to play well. I mean, that's been one of the Broncos' losses this season, was in LA against the Chargers. So, you swept the Chiefs. That's great, but you got to go out there and you got to go beat the Chargers as well, and got to go show the big reason why you're top of the AFC West.
I'm going to get to a couple questions in here, going a little bit different direction. One of these I might need your help with, if you don't mind. Pearl's wondering, is Dobbins, any chance that Dobbins is coming back? I forget, because he did have that. It was almost like a plantar fascia type of injury, and I know that's not long term, so I can't remember if he was able to come back and if he would be capable of coming back during the playoffs. I don't know if you remember that as well. Rodney's coming in saying, good evening, Trevor and Keith, go Broncos. Broncos need to get healthy and stay focused. And Dan's coming in. He says, how about RJ Harvey for Rookie of the Year? Here's a guy that actually now leads for as far as touchdowns, receiving touchdowns, as well as rushing touchdowns for a rookie. Setting or tying the record as far as that is concerned, with 5+ in both of those categories. is RJ Harvey a legitimate shot for rookie of the year in your opinion, Trevor? And I don't know if you can answer that while you're trying to get answers for other things as well.
Yeah. So on the Dobbins injury, I believe it's Keith. He can come back, but I think it's more or less if the Broncos make a deep playoff run. I don't think he's going to come back first week of the playoffs or anything like that. I mean, obviously after the Broncos bye, that certainly helps. But I think Dobbins, like if the AFC Championship game, I would say leading into the Super Bowl, that's probably the time period you're talking about when you could possibly see J.K. Dobbins back. And while we're on J.K. Dobbins, Keith, I want to mention this. Broncos had 6 Pro Bowlers this season, right? I actually think that J.K. Dobbins was going to be a Pro Bowler this year. He was on track to be a Pro Bowler for this team. That's just adds to the pain of losing a guy like J.K. Dobbins because, my gosh, the start of the season and what he was off to, I mean, it was amazing. It was great to see. We haven't seen a Broncos running back put those kind of numbers up in a long time. I'm not trying to say J.K. Dobbins is the next Terrell Davis or anything like that, but I'm saying he was just really efficient. He played really well leading up to his injury, and so just goes to show how bad that injury was and how meaningful that was to this Broncos team. Because I think he would have been the 7th Pro Bowler for this Denver Broncos team. I think he had a real shot at that. But as far as RJ Harvey goes, Keith, I don't think he's gonna be in play for Rookie of the Year. I mean, I really don't. I mean, 512 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns. I don't think it's gonna be enough to get it done. I think RJ Harvey, we're starting to see a little bit more from him. I still don't think he's where he needs to be, but I don't think he's going to be Rookie of the Year, and I wouldn't get my hopes up too much that he even will be in consideration, honestly. If I'm being honest, I don't think he'll even be in consideration for Rookie of the Year.
No pizza money on RJ Harvey, as Kenny Kirkpatrick would say, as far as Trevor is concerned. But I do like the way that RJ Harvey has turned it up in these last few games. He's getting more north and south. It seems like he's able to be more elusive at the right time, and he's secure with the ball as well. I think the biggest portion of that would be that what he does through the passing game, or I should say what he does receiving the ball, because that's probably one of his biggest assets that I think most people underestimated, especially coming into the season. I remember saying, as we were kind of getting in, and everyone's like, well, yeah, but we really like a receiving back. I'm like, RJ Harvey can catch the ball. RJ Harvey can catch the ball. Maybe he needs to work on the blocking, but I've even seen that get better over the last few weeks as well. So RJ Harvey is becoming at least not 100%, but, portions of being a 3-down back out there for the Denver Broncos. And that's really what we'd like to see him develop into. Rodney would like to see Dre Greenlaw develop into a healthy player, as well as Brandon Jones as we head into these final weeks. I will say, and I kind of brought this up in my last podcast with Jody, the judge, Moncrief, were we playing better defense when Dre Greenlaw was the starting linebacker or when he wasn't the starting linebacker? I ask you that question, not saying one of these things leads to another, but in a lot of ways, felt like our linebacking core was a little bit more maybe in sync when Dre Greenlaw wasn't able to take the field. I thought I saw that Talanoa Hufanga, safety, got hurt. I know. I think Paul. Now you're making me second guess things. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. I can't remember now at this point. So. And we're getting near the end of the podcast, so I don't know how much time we'll have to research that. You, my good for you, my good friend, and hopefully, if it is, it's just something small. Glenn Ashley with one of those big comments that I'll read again. I think if we can be in front of the Chargers far enough, we can actually utilize death pieces for playoff scenarios too, which rest starters in game situations. I'd love to be in that situation where we're up large enough on the Los Angeles Chargers that we're looking at death pieces and resting some of our starters. Let's hope we get to that point. That would be a fantastic place to be in that game. And he's also just coming in and saying Harvey is developing into the type of RB we want him to be. He blocks. He's improving his runs. He's been great out of the backfield all year long. Glenn, we're lockstep on that one, my friend. I appreciate it. VJ making minor adjustments. That's one of the things that Pearl wants to see maybe in this last and final game as we go down the stretch, as she's saying, maybe he's not making those adjustments like we'd like to see. Boy, final thoughts. AFC West champs, number 1 seed in our sights. Trevor, it takes a win against the Chargers. It's been one heck of a season. This Denver Broncos team beat the Chiefs twice, did it on Christmas Day, swept them. Now they're AFC, like I said, AFC West champs. Thank you very much, Houston Texans. We appreciate you. It's been a wild season, man, and we're almost to the new year. And what a wild year it's been. I guess that's the best way to put it, man. What a wild, wild year it's been so far. Trevor, some final thoughts as we're wrapping it up, getting on out of here for this evening at least.
Yeah, on the Hufanga injury, I don't think it's anything serious. I have yet to hear about him showing up on any injury report or anything like that. So again, guys are banged up at this time of year, Keith. I mean, we're towards the end of the season. I mean, like especially guys like Hufanga, who's played all season long. I mean, he's been a heck of a warrior for this team. I thought he actually could have been another Pro Bowler for this Broncos team. I mean, I think he's been probably their best signing so far, Keith. If I'm being honest, Hufanga from this past offseason. I mean, Greenlaw's just not been himself this year so far. Hopefully, he'll make an impact when playoffs start happening, and that's when you're really going to need him. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get too concerned about the Hufanga injury. And this is where the extended time off playing on Christmas Day is going to be huge for the Denver Broncos as guys start trying to get healthier and try to take care of their bodies as we're getting towards the end of the season. A lot of guys are banged up at this point, and it's something that doesn't always get reported. When guys and players are banged up, it's just part of playing football this long. But no, I mean, my final thoughts is, I mean, Broncos country, guys deserve this. I mean, this is exactly what you should want. I mean, this team's AFC West bound. I mean, this team has won the AFC West. Something, again, that I didn't predict beginning of the season, and I will be the first one to admit that. But I'm excited to see this team continue to grow from here on out. And again, next step for me, clinch, get number 1 seed in the AFC, and then you got to go out there and win playoff games. If this team can win playoff games, man, I mean, Super Bowl bound. I think this team is definitely, this team's not too far away from that, just in general. So, Broncos country, guys deserve this. And I love this for this team. I love that the Broncos are back on track. I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen the Denver Broncos be this dominant and be able to win these amount of games and just be in consideration for the number 1 seed again in the AFC. I mean, 2015, it's way too long. So, excited for this team. Big shout out to Sean Payton for everything he's done for this team culturally, just getting this team back into where they need to be after all, everything that has transpired over the last couple seasons. And just excited to see what this team can continue to do going forward, Keith. And again, Broncos country, Posse. Enjoy this one. You guys deserve it, and enjoy it up until Sunday when the Broncos play the Chargers and hopefully get that dub.
Go get that dub. 2015, I think I still had a fully brown beard, Trevor. I think it was not a stitch of gray in any of this.
It's been after that, though, Keith, right?
Yes. It's
all the quarterback changes and everything like that, head coaching changes.
Yeah. Let's ride. Like probably it was like 20% of this right here. So it's been a journey, man, but we deserve it, Broncos country. We're back on top, AFC West champs, right where we belong. Let's go out there. Let's get that number 1 seed. Let's go get that dub. As I'm seeing Dan coming in here, go Broncos country, Denver Broncos for life. Love you all, man. Been a fantastic year. I can't calendar. I have it all messed up. Maybe we have another podcast. Maybe we don't, but I can tell you we're dang near the end. And it's been a fantastic year riding with y'all, the posse out there, doing the roundup every single week, couple times a week. By the way, right now, what's our schedule? We're Tuesday nights. we're Wednesday nights, we're Saturdays. We've been doing some pre-games. We've been doing some post-games. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. You need to check us out. You need to find us. You need to share. If you haven't hit an emoji like, that love, that wow that I'm seeing right up there in the top right-hand corner of my little screen, we'd appreciate one of those on the way out. Even on YouTube, you can hit that little thumbs up as well. So thank you all so much, man. Check out our amazing sponsor, Morgan Trinkets, for all your Southwest jewelry, Southwest pottery, estate gold, wholesale prices. They also have silver, 100% sterling silver. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Adam and Kayla. If you can help them out, we certainly appreciate that as well. But we do got to ride off into the sunset as our podcasters get out here. By the way, Phil McLaughlin, thank you very much. I did check out. He did drop us 200 stars. If anybody else did, trying to play a little bit of producer and podcaster, so I apologize if I missed you, but you know that you're appreciated. By the way, Pearl is your number one fan and really likes having you back, Trevor. So just know that you're loved and appreciated, and wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of y'all. If I don't hear or talk to you before the New Year's, Happy New Year's as well. My guess is we'll probably be able to sneak in a podcast if I got my dates right. Check us all out. Trevor, you were going to say?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna, help Keith out with his dates really quick.
I'm a day at a time guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I'm right there with you. But the 30th would be Tuesday, which is the juice with me and Kenny, Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. Keith fills in. I mean, that's on Tuesday, the 30th. The 31st is on Wednesday. So definitely will be a show, maybe two shows actually before the end of the year. But again, I want to get this out of there as well, Keith, because I didn't do this in my outro and it would not be me. But I hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend. And I hope, everybody enjoys this. Again, AFC West champs. I mean, I haven't been able to say that in a long time. Enjoy this one, Broncos country. Hope everybody stays safe out there. Stay warm. If it's warm where you're at, soak it all in because you never know when it might snow. But I hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend. Stay safe. Watch some football tomorrow. And as always, go Broncos.
I was waiting for it, man. That mile high salute, Trevor, as he always gets us out of here. Man, it's been a fantastic show. Appreciate podcasting with Trevor. He's an amazing podcaster. Appreciate all the freaking posse members that were in here, rocking the comments, being a part of this podcast, and cheering on the Broncos all year long, including this podcast as well. We'll be back. We'll be back soon. And as Trevor says, enjoy your weekend. And we might be back for a couple more podcasts before we do get out of 2025. But be safe. Be careful. It is that, holiday time of year and some crazy roads out there in some parts of the country. So we love you. We appreciate you. But as always, we got to get out of here the way we always do. Boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters. Denver Broncos right there in your heart. Till next time, we're out of here. Have a great night, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend.